Lily, Ben and Omid meet in front of the school. They don't feel like going to school today. So Lily suggests, "Come on, let's go exploring." So the three children set off for new adventures, and they soon come across a deep, dark forest. There are monsters lurking everywhere. Misshapen figures, evil gnomes, and ugly giants who scream, howl, and roar. Suddenly, a hole appears beneath their feet, and they fall into it deeper and deeper still. Their fall is broken by a soft, colourful pillow. They find themselves in a cave. It is bright, warm and friendly. An aroma of freshly baked cake envelops them, and a calm voice says, "Welcome. I have been expecting you. I am Annalena." Soon after, all four of them sit down together, nibble chocolate biscuits and drink tea. After a while, Annalena says, "I am sure you have a good reason for not being in school." Omid nods and says that he can hardly manage to pay attention in school. It is impossible to sit still and listen. Everything distracts him. Quite often he cannot fall asleep at night, and then he is even more fidgety the next day. Ben sighs and tells them how he often feels sad and disheartened. To him, it seems that all the others can do everything better than him. Sometimes he does not even like to start a task. It is a waste of time because he won't understand it anyway. Lily sadly reports that she often loses her temper over very small things. She then starts to scream and fume and then lashes out and scares the other children. Therefore, many children don't want to play with her. "Oh dear," says Annalena. "It really isn't fun to have to go to a school like that." For a moment, it is very quiet and everybody is thinking. "Do you know the story of the little lizard, the antenna, the bell and reason?" Annalena asks carefully. The children shake their heads. It's high time somebody told you about it. Normally, reason reigns within us. It takes the reins and gives the orders. But we also have a kind of antenna. Its task is to recognize danger. It knows from earlier times what danger is. Finally, our brain contains a little lizard. Its task is to save us when we are in danger. As soon as the antenna recognizes danger, it rings the bell and alerts us. When the bell rings, the little lizard is ready to act instantly. It is much faster than reason, which also helps us to survive. The lizard only knows orders like fight, flee, or freeze. Depending on the danger, it chooses one of these three options. Once the danger is over, the antenna stops ringing the bell. The lizard curls up, falls asleep, and lets reason do the ruling. Reason is not as fast, but it is good at remembering past situations and can calmly think about solutions. It is great that we humans have these three things: reason, the antenna, and the fast lizard. If a person has experienced bad things once or several times, the antenna becomes more and more sensitive. More and more often, it gives false alarms. More and more often, the lizard reacts. It makes the person fight, flee, or freeze. This can be very stressful for a person. For you, Ben, the lizard makes you see everything in shades of grey. You don't feel happiness anymore, and you don't think that you will succeed in anything. For you, Omid, your antenna is constantly turned onto emergency status. It always checks whether any danger is about to happen. Therefore, you cannot pay attention in school. Lily, your antenna seems to always think that you are being attacked and need to defend yourself. This also happens in situations when you are not really in danger. "Why do I like being with Annalena so much?" asks Ben. Lily is just as astonished. "Why haven't I had a tantrum yet?" Well, it is simply because this is a safe place. Your lizards are feeling safe here. They can curl up, sleep, and let reason do the guiding. So that makes you feel safe too. Omid does not hear the last few words anymore. For the first time in ages, he has fallen into a deep sleep. After a while, Annalena says, "So, it's time to go back to school now." The children shake their heads in frightened protest. No way would they go back through that monster forest again. Don't be afraid. You have experienced the safe place, and you can take it with you. Whenever your little lizard wants to wake up, think about this safe cave. Now, I will give each one of you an object to allow you to walk through all the dark forests of this world without being frightened. Lily, when you realize that your lizard wants to wake up and knocks on your door to be let in and take control, you tell it this: "No, dear Mrs. Lizard, today does not suit me very well, and I cannot have any visitors. Maybe another time, but definitely not today. To make sure you don't forget to leave the lizard standing at the door, I will give you this bell." To you, Ben, I am giving a pair of pink glasses. Put them on as soon as your lizard tries to tell you that everything is bad. With these pink glasses on, you will realize how much you know and what you can do. All of a sudden, you will trust yourself to read, write, and calculate. For you, Omid, I have a wonderful sleeping hat. When you go to bed, you pull it over your eyes and ears, think about the cave, and fall into a deep sleep, which will allow you to rest and recover. Then you will be able to pay attention the next day. Ben immediately puts his glasses on. Lily takes the bell and Omid places the hat on his shoulder. They look around the cave one last time to make sure they remember everything really well. Then they wave goodbye to Annalena, and a moment later, they are back in the forest. It looks very different now. The leaves are sparkling with a fresh green colour, the sun is flickering through the branches, the birds are singing, and it smells of spring. For a moment, Lily thinks she can see a monster peeking out from behind a tree. She quickly reaches for the bell and rings it. Straight away, the monster disappears. As they arrive back at school, the school bell rings. Lily, Ben and Omid are quite surprised to be back in time for their next lesson despite their adventurous journey. The teacher is just as surprised, as Ben follows really well in maths, Lily does not have any fits of anger, and Omid sits on his chair quietly and attentively.